ano ang gusto mong maging, in a way, take away ng mga manunood sa concert?
That's a nice question, actually. I don't know. At the same time, I'm trying to balance selfishness and selflessness in a way wherein internally we're also trying to set the flow of the show wherein okay, para hindi masyado ganun kabigat yung pressure at yung kaba, try lang natin imagine na tayo lang yung tumutugtog. And in some sort of way, I think on the visual aspect of things, that is what is going to be captured and expounded exponentially. This whole idea of having an intimate kind of jamming session, but then multiplying that into an arena. And wala, takeaway for the viewers is really just an experience. I mean, I don't think, feeling ko naman wala naman sigurong lesson na maibigay yung sa concert. Like, but it's really just being able to kind of like be inside this whole capsule of experience and all of the stories and the things that these songs talk about, and the whole idea of people that are going there to be able to relate to these songs. Yung mga taong pupunta siguro may mga songs doon nakaka-relate sila na talagang ginamit nila sa lahat ng mga pinagdaanan nila sa buhay, right? But then, when they go there, they're gonna be part of that whole experience mismo of going through those things with me and with everybody. So, feeling ko yun yung magandang aspect.
Last question. You've been in the industry for how long? 10 years?
10 years?
Since
wow. 2014. 2014, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, 10 years.
So,
Yeah.
in 10 years, JJ, ilan na rin yung hit songs mo talaga? Na ngayon kasi sa mga artists, very rare na rin yung na nakakachamba talaga. Or nagkakaroon ng mga hit songs. Ikaw, ilan na yung hit songs mo? And then, ngayon, your first major concert sa arena na. At I heard na yung FBIP mo pala ay talagang halos wala na daw sila maibigay. Sold out na. Pero ang dami pa rin. Ang dami pa rin. Yeah, at ang dami pa rin gustong kumuha ng FBIP. So how do you feel about all this? How do you see yourself na yung success mo ngayon? And when you look back and pag ikaw ay medyo napapaisip, ano mo siya?
Oh, existential po yung question yun. Bigla akong napaisip ng 10 years ago. Wow. Ganda rin. Huh. It's actually, it's really interesting because for some weird reason it just feels like yesterday I was just this random makulit Bisaya speaking boy from Cebu na nilalandi si Coach Sara as a 13-year-old. Alam mo yun? Ulala, ganun. And kinukulit ko lang lahat ng mga tao na sa paligid ko kasi I didn't take anything seriously actually. I really didn't because joining the Voice Kids was never really about what I wanted. It's because I joined it because it was what my mom wanted. It was my bonding with my mom. Kasi ako, I mean, hindi ko naman pinangarap to as a kid. You know how in school, the teacher would ask, di ba, the students, oh, what do you be when you grow up? Tapos yung mga students, gusto ko po maging astronaut. Tapos yung isang student, gusto ko po maging corrupt na politician, like for example. Tapos, kasi di ba, pangarap din talaga yun. Tapos, ako naman parang, ako gusto ko maging abogado. Yun natin yung sinagot ko when I was a kid. I never dreamt of any of these things. I mean, maging artista, maging musician, maging actor, maging ganito. I never really crossed my mind, but now here we are because of that one decision after my mom passed, kasi I saw on TV the audition for the Voice Kids na oh, may pa-audition para dito. Kasi nasa wake pa nanay ko nun, naalala ko yun. Napaka-vivid memory para sa akin noon. November 22, 2013. Just a few weeks after Yolanda, 5 days after my mom passed. She passed away November 17, around 3 p.m. I was there. And 5 days after that, she was still in the wake, and then I was just grieving or processing everything. I was a 13-year-old boy, and then mga bandang hapon nakita ko sa TV, may audition sa The Voice Kids. Tapos naisip ko lang, for some reason, ito yung gusto ni Mama. Kasi yun yung bonding namin. Doon kami nagkakasama. Kasi sinasamahan niya ako sa mga auditions. Tapos ayun, yun lang. Not sure if that answered the question actually. Medyo nag-look back lang ako actually. And it's really beautiful. I've been through a lot as a person, but everyone here has been through a lot. I mean, lahat naman tayo, hindi naging smooth lahat ng pinagdaanan to be able to get to where you guys are now as individuals. For sure, ang dami yung mga sakit ng ulong pinagdaanan, dami yung mga issues na ginawa ng solusyon, mga problemang inayos. Alam mo yun? And to be able to just reflect on all of those things that we've gone through and be able to get to be in this moment to where we are now, napakagandang bagay lang nun. And yun, I'm just really lucky and blessed to be able to be surrounded by these people who really believe in me. Dun, yun naman. Napaka-existential ng question na yun. Ayoko na. Napaisip ako ng malalim doon, ang aga-aga pa ng araw, teka na. Pero yun, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, JK.
Salamat, Rose.
Salamat.
JK, ang next magtatanong, kapatid natin si June Lalin, editor ng Abante.
Hello po.
June!
Hi, good afternoon. Kanina kasi binanggit niya si Ilian, si Sylvia, your producer. Actually, Sylvia mentioned na yung kanina, sinasabi ni Rose na noon ka pa kinukuha ni Sylvia, but lately ka na nag-yes. Pero yun nga, ang sinasabi ni Sylvia, ang kinatuwa niya sa'yo, nung sinabi mong ready ka na, sinabi mo na dapat siya yung mag-produce kasi nga noon pa may offer siya. Pinaglaban mo lang talaga. Talagang nilinaw mo na dapat si Sylvia.
I mean, it was a no-brainer kind of situation po kasi. Kasi I mean, we really have that opportunity that we're grateful for that opportunity because it's not just Tita Ebiang, but also a lot of different promoters and producers who want to be able to work with us. But at the same time, kasi with Tita Ebiang, she already became this mother figure in my life as well. And with work, what's really important as well is the trust and that personal aspect. So it was really a no-brainer. She was the one who really pushed the whole idea of doing a concert, and then she was there even before the idea was made. So, yeah. And wala kami ibang maisip kung hindi si Tita Ebiang. Kasi siya talaga yung, hindi na.
Naniniwala kami dun, yung pagkakadong mo pa na.
Hindi ba po? Don't eh. Yung binibisaya pa ako na, hindi ka makaka-resist eh. What's naman dong? Yes po.
Yeah, you mentioned your mom. Yung mom mo yun talaga or your lola? Kasi parang mas sabi ka rin nakikita before na you're with your lola and you even posted weeks ago about your lola.
I grew up with my lola, born
Yeah.
and raised with my lola. My mom had a different family. And that goes back to what I mentioned kanina, na that was our only bonding moment. Kasi she would be the one, aside from like supporting me as a kid, right, with education, that was really the only bonding moment we would have when she would push me to do all of these things that she thought would be best for me. But yeah, I was born and raised, and my lola is really that one constant in my life. Yeah.
So, nung malaman ng lola mo na finally you're going to have a major concert, anong reaction niya? Gano'n siya ka-excited? Sobrang natuwa si Lola. Si Lola kasi pag natutuwa, bigla na lang sasayaw.
Hindi siya masyadong masalita na tao, bigla na lang siya masasayaw, tapos ilalagay yung cellphone niya sa gilid, tapos bigla magti-TikTok. Ganun actually, dapat mo si Lola talaga mag-concert eh. Sinabi ko lang kay Tita Edgar.
So, may special participation ba siya pag sasayaw?
Baka, ay, actually, kailangan pa namin pagmitingan kasi medyo mataas yung rate ni Lola kasi. Medyo mahal po si Lola. Di po namin afford. So, pero, well, but kidding aside, she was really happy with when she found out. And then she started doing her TikTok dance. And then, after that, biglang nanghingi ng maraming tickets kasi marami siyang gustong bigyan. Sabi ko, sino mga gusto mong bigyan lang? Yung mga fans.
Malalapit siya sa mga fans.
Yeah.
Kasi
Never
she's
say.
always with you, no? Kahit